B&B Podcast.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is V. Appreciate your time with the channel. Hopefully you're well and safe during these troubling times. You got to. So, hey, I want to speak to you why you can make a big difference when it comes to volunteering your time, right? So, I just want to backtrack back in 2019. This is between the March and the May time frame. So, I was in Poland. I was doing contract work. I was doing my thing, doing this little IT thing. But in my spare time, I would go volunteer at a Polish orphanage, right? And the time that I spent there, it made me a better person. It made me appreciate the good times. It made me appreciate the simple times. I just want to bring this to you because it can mean a big difference between yourself, to these people, to these families, to anybody who you can inspire and bring a warm feeling to, right? So back then, I was just going to the orphanage between probably just once a week on a Saturday, spending my time with these kids. I would play basketball with them. We would run soccer together. They would help me learn. They helped me learn how to speak Polish, how to write it, and in turn, I taught them how to speak English, how to write in English. So it was a blessing for me to interact with these kids, and it's something that you can bring to the table. It's something that you can always bring to the table when it comes to helping people, right? And eventually, I was able to take that knowledge and take those resources and apply it into something new. Like right now, I'm doing. Right now, I'm doing volunteering for this coffee shop. I'm cleaning, taking orders. I'm learning new skills as it comes and goes. So I'm just going to tell you some things, how you can make a big difference when it comes to volunteering your time. And another thing too to keep in mind is finding something that relates to your purpose, right? So for my purpose, it was to help people, to build people up to the highest level, to inspire them, right? So whenever you're volunteering, find something that aligns with your meaning in your life, something that has that purpose, something that has that drive that allows you to keep pushing, allows you to keep going, because that's going to help you determine how to help these people, right? How you can volunteer your time. So perhaps you're an artist who likes to draw, and you go to an art museum or something. You actually draw portraits, you draw landscapes, and you give it to these museums just an act of kindness. And who knows, that could bring some meaning to people. It could bring something inspirational to people because, say, you're really good, you have a firm knowledge about the craft, and people might be willing to build a connection with you, and therefore you can take that into a new account, and then just build a mindset where, hey, I can build these sculptures too. I can build these art craft, and it's going to help me along the road. And making a difference between your skills that are learned through volunteering, right? Because you can make a big difference from the things that you learn from volunteering, right? So for me, I'm learning how to take orders for a barista shop. That's going to help me too, because say like later in the line, I need help somebody assist with a cup of coffee. I can learn how to do that. With these kids in Poland, I learned how to coach these kids at a young age. We used to play basketball, soccer. We just play sports in general, and that'll help me guide them into the right direction. So therefore, I could take those skills that I learn that leadership role that I did with these kids, and I can apply it into recreational or amateur league basketball, something that I love to do. And that's something you got to take in mind when you're volunteering. You're going to always learn something new, regardless if if you even know the craft. You can still learn something. You can still build off your resume. And it doesn't mean for a career. It doesn't mean for a lifelong learning. You could be volunteering at a car shop. You might know how to be a mechanic, but you might not know something about being a mechanic. You might have something that pertains to that. And that's why it's important to always have those skills and always have that open mindedness when you're volunteering. And also too, when you're making a big difference with volunteering, it's the fact that you're learning emotional intelligence among people. That's probably honestly the most important one for me, because you learn how to be empathetic, you learn sympathy, you learn how to be compassionate among one another, and that's going to help you become a greater person, a more evolved person at the end of the day. Because the orphans back in Poland, there's a family of 6 who whose parents were druggies. They were really they it's hard to explain, but the point of it being is that they were very manipulated by drugs. They couldn't really. They had strong addictions, and the nuns, along with the parents, they wanted to support the move of taking their children to the orphanage, and that's very brave. I can honestly attest to those kids. That's something that is it's very disturbing. But these kids are in a more stable and more relaxed environment where they can have a greater chance to flourish. And some of these kids, they didn't even have children. They didn't have a father figure, and that's something I can attest to. That's something that I learned because my father left when I was 2 years old, and I learned how to seek strong masculine mentorship. And while making that big difference too, it gives you the chance to de-stress your mind. It gives you the chance to relax your mind, right? Because for me, for example, even when I'm cleaning something, even when I'm taking an order, even when I'm trying to talk to these kids, it allows me to put away my distractions, allows me to put my mind at ease. And honestly, this gives you a sense of drive when you're completing the volunteering, right? Because you feel like you came where you had to do, you got your task done, you got something related to your work done, and you just have a good strong urgency to help people. You have a strong urgency to relax, to do your thing, and that's another important thing. I wish y'all for y'all to just volunteer because it can just help you de-stress because you're just focusing on what needs to be done and it just takes your mind off of everything that you have to do. It could be work, it could be school, it could be a relationship, it could be anything that distracts your mind, anything that keeps you from overthinking about the possibilities, which could bring more stress, it could bring more conflict. And by volunteering, you can just take your time, you can be really appreciative of the people who you're working with, and it's going to help you and help you and help you later down the road. So another thing too, just focus on one thing when it comes to de-stressing with the volunteering. Just take your time. Just don't try to multitask. Just get what you had to get done and keep moving forward with it. And eventually it's going to mean a lot to you. It's going to be a great de-stressor for you, and you're going to feel more accomplished, more in tune with yourself. You're not going to get these tunnel visions anymore, because I experienced tunnel visions too. Honestly, I've been burnt out for the last couple of days, but I come here and volunteer, and I feel good now. I feel really refreshed, and instead of that tunnel vision, I have clear sight of what I want to do. And it just honestly too, it depends on the person too. You just gotta be mindful of that situation, understand what it comes to. And whenever you're volunteering, say you're actually in an impoverished area, say that you're in a place where a lot of bad things happen, where a lot of people are struggling, honestly, you're going to get a sense of hardship in you too, because you're going to probably feel those emotions. You're probably going to feel everything that's involved in that situation. This is going to help you become more, let's see, what's the right word, more in tune with people's surroundings, right? And that's why I kind of stress, try to seek things that you don't understand in particular. Like if you come like from a good environment, try to seek a very bad environment for you to grow and for you to kind of relate to these people. It's going to be very difficult at times because you probably can't find anything you could relate to these people. But eventually you can get in touch with their emotions, their struggles, just have a talk with them, volunteer your time just to understand where they're coming from. And therefore you're going to build, like I said it previously, you're going to build more empathy, you're going to build more sympathy, you're going to build these human connections, these human skills that you will need in your life. And it's just going to make you a lifelong learner. It's going to make you a better person 5 to 10 years down the line. Because say you go to Africa, say you go to South America, say you go to the Philippines, where it may be hard for some people, but you figured out how to connect with those people, and eventually that's going to bring you to a better connection within yourself and with along the purpose. But another thing too I like to keep in mind is that volunteering makes a big difference if you're a spiritual person, right? When I mean that, you read scripture, you read text, you follow the word or something. That's going to make you more it's going to make you more powerful. It's going to make you more knowledgeable too, because whenever I volunteer, I haven't been to church in a long time, I feel more in tune with God. It's because He wants all of us. He wants all of us to be a great inspiration for others, and that's why it's really important for you to keep pushing, to understand that you're not alone with this. You have to put people before yourself, but which is something that I do agree, but you also have to put yourself first in some situations. But you are putting yourself first too, and you're having that balance because you're putting yourself where you can learn, and therefore on the other side you're helping people elevate their game. And that's something you have to keep in mind, is that just learn that there's a bigger picture, there's a bigger painting to the canvas, right? You're creating a fictional utopia for everybody around you, and that's something that you can keep building upon yourself. It's something that you keep building among people. And ultimately, another thing, you're just making a great difference because you are giving back to your community. You are being a kind individual. You are the one who is stepping out their comfort zone to bring people their happiness, to give them the support, to give them the resilience to keep going, something that's going to inspire them to get out their little shell, and therefore, become a tortoise who's fighting that hare, man. So that's what I'm saying. Always be volunteering. Always take your time to volunteer for something, even if it's not something that you don't even know. Just take your time, and it's going to work marvelous for you. But hey, listen, y'all, I appreciate your support with the channel. Thank you very much. Please like and subscribe to the videos. Always don't forget to contact me if you need anything. I'll be more than happy to assist you on the way. It's one of my great pleasures to assist somebody. And don't forget about this giveaway. It's almost here. You're either going to win that Amazon $100 gift card, that Sony speaker, or that nice Polaroid camera. Please stay in tune with the episodes, and ladies and gentlemen, please be safe, please be mindful, and always do better.